Oh, that's the only reason I got 25. When I bought them at Walmart, they were on sale for like $5 a piece, and it was 25 plus and 45. So I just made business decision.
Yeah, so typically that's how our lobbies start out. That's all we're doing. We're chilling, having a good time. We're talking about our day. I mean, that's what the experience is all about. Playing with your friends most of the time. I will say, for the general COD community, I think that's what we all do when we get on the game. We're just there to talk to our buddies and have a good time. And skill based matchmaking has ruined that. So Call of Duty released a statement back in November saying that they were going to address skill based matchmaking, and they finally did. So let's jump into it. So let's go ahead and jump into this. So Call of Duty, Activision finally released a statement on matchmaking, and yeah, let's go over. A lot of content creators just went ahead and covered it, but I'm gonna kind of give you my opinion on this. Well, let's let's just go ahead and read it. All right. So number one, they say connection. As the community will attest, ping is king. We will attest that ping is king. Connection is the most critical and heavily weighted factor in the matchmaking process. 100%. Yes, it should be, and it is not. This is a bunch of bullcrap. They do not prioritize ping at all. We're going to dig into this stuff a lot more. Number two, time to match. This factor is the second most critical to the matchmaking process. We all want to spend time playing the game rather than waiting for matches to start. Agreed. But it's most of the time it's because your player base is leaving. There's not enough people to play the game. So that's the reason it's taking longer to get into a match. The following factors are also critical to the matchmaking process: playlist diversity, the number of playlists available for players to choose from, recent maps, modes, considering maps you have recently played on, as well as your mode preferences, edible and quick play settings. Skill performance. This is used to give our players a global community with a wide skill range the opportunity to have an impact in every match. Input device, controller, mouse, and keyboard. Platform, the device, PC, console that you're playing on. Voice chat, enabled or disabled. That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard. Every time a player begins matchmaking in multiplayer, for example, the process needs to work through all these factors to find other players, all of which are also being analyzed, to quick assemble a lobby that is stable and competitive. These factors have resulted in a process that we believe provides the best player experience and creates a stronger community for Call of Duty worldwide. Let's get more technical on a few of these factors. Okay, so the first one, measuring connection for matchmaking. Let's see what kind of bularkey they feed us on this. Golly. All right, calm down. Who's brava? Whether you're playing for fun with friends or looking to climb the leaderboards. Okay, so first off, playing for fun with friends. That's exactly what they said, straight out of the horse's mouth. You can't play for fun with friends when I'm a 3.34 KD player and my buddies are in the .74 to .94 range. You can't, because my lobbies are so sweaty they can't enjoy themselves. They can't do anything without completely getting melted or crapped on. Okay, it's not fun. That's the reason that me and all my buddies have quit playing Call of Duty and we jumped to Apex and other games, because we can't enjoy the process, because skill based matchmaking is cranked all the way up to the ceiling, trying to ruin our experience when they think they're making it better, because they are so distant from their player base they don't even know what they're talking about. They're just regurgitating something they made up in their mind. All right. Or looking to climb the leaderboards. Yeah. You can't climb the leaderboards when your connection is trash. All right, so let's see what they got to say. I'm sorry. God, I'm getting off on a rant. Connection is the most important part of the online Call of Duty experience. Connection dictates the speed at which the game can transfer information from every player to and from our servers. Yes, that is 100% true. Here's the issue that I have with this statement. When they're trying to say ping is king, ping is king. When me as a 3.34 KD player loads into a lobby with my buddy that lives not far from me at all, I could probably throw a rock as hard as I could and get probably 200 to 300 yards from his house. Have the same internet, same Wi-Fi box, same everything, except my speeds are about 60 to 75 megabits per second faster. And we're in the same lobby. And my ping, y'all can attest to it. Just go back and look at my videos. Look at the top left-hand corner. You'll see my latency up there. My ping will be anywhere from 50 to 80 plus milliseconds every match. His will be anywhere from 32 to 18. Every match. Every match. Why is mine so much higher? When we got the same internet, same everything. Why? We both play on PS5. Doesn't make a bit of sense. You can try to defend it all you want, but it doesn't make a bit of sense. All right, so moving on. Call of Duty's matchmaking process evaluates a metric we call delta ping, which is the difference in round trip time of the data between your best data center, almost always the one closest to you. This is a bunch of bullcrap. It's not almost always the one closest to you. You can go to your account information and see where they're pinging you to. You can. I don't know if you know that, but you go down to settings, go down to account and network, and you can pull it up and see where they're pinging you to. I've been playing in Washington a lot. For some reason, I'm on the other end of the U.S. and they've got me playing in Washington and places around in that area. Maybe that's why my lobbies are so sweaty. I have no idea. To reiterate, we always try to maximize the times we place players in data centers that are closest to them. Call of Duty uses a client server model to host matches where the time it takes to share information between the player client and the data center dedicated server has an impact on the overall feel of a match. The Call of Duty netcode, which we've discussed in the past, works to reduce the effect of latency but cannot completely eliminate. This is the reason we're having inconsistency issues. I guarantee you, this is the reason we're having inconsistent issues with hit reg and everything else, is because they think they're helping the process, but they're not. Instead of putting you in a lobby that's closest to you, they're putting you in a lobby that's far away because they think they've got something figured out to help lower your latency where you can play against the guys that's further away. It's not. It's making the experience worse. I guarantee you. I guarantee it. The matchmaking process seeks to reduce the overall amount of latency by prioritizing stable connections. This is a bunch of crap. Prioritizing stable connections. How many times do you drop in a match and it just kicks you out of the match, or server issues, or it drops you back to the main? Something. They're not doing any. They're putting band-aids on top of a gunshot wound, is what they're doing, and the gunshot is bleeding out. And they just keep putting band-aid after band-aid after band-aid after band-aid. They need new servers, is what they need, and they will not do anything about it. They will not take a little bit of money out of those billions of dollars that they made and put it towards the servers. Does not make a bit of sense. They want their community to come back. They want to make a lot of money off this game. Do that. Prioritize fixing your servers. Then work on everything else. All right. Measuring time to match for matchmaking. Any form of matchmaking takes time. If the wait time in a lobby is excessively long, players typically recycle the process by canceling out of matchmaking search and restarting it, or even quitting. This does not quicken the matchmaking process, and in fact can even be detrimental. So what they're saying is, if I'm sitting there and my ping jumps all the way up to 200 milliseconds while loading in, I shouldn't back out. They have no idea what they're talking about. What they're thinking in their mind when they're saying this is that when somebody's ping goes up to 50 milliseconds, they ain't gotten a match in the first 10 seconds of being at the screen, they're backing out. That's not what's happening, I guarantee you. There's something wrong with them getting information from the player base to them. I guarantee you there is something wrong with them getting information from the player base to them somehow. For example, in the popular Modern Warfare 3 Rustment playlist consists of Rust and Shipment. Players often leave lobbies and/or enter matches early on, hoping to requeue into Shipment. Instead, this creates a vacant spot on a team during an early stage of the match, as the matchmaking process may prioritize backfilling that spot. This could result in players perceiving that Rust is disproportionately selected over Shipment. TLDR, trying to cherry pick maps may have an unexpected result. Our goal is to ensure that players spend more time playing matches rather than waiting for them. All right, so instead of prioritizing trying to hurry up and get players in the match, try to make sure that their connection is stable. Try that. I guarantee you, if your goal is to ensure that players spend more time playing matches, work on connection-based ping. Work on that. Yeah. But work on your servers too. That'll help. So, measuring skill for matchmaking. While skill is one of the several factors Call of Duty multiplayer matchmaking, we know the community wants more information how it fits into the process. Skill is determined on players' overall performance. Kills, deaths, which would be KD ratio, wins, losses, and more, including mode selection and recent matches as an overall metric across all multiplayer experience. This is a fluid measurement that's consistently updating and reacting to your gameplay. Skill is not the only factor in matchmaking players against appropriate enemies, but also when finding teammates. Call of Duty has historically considered player performance among other factors as part of our matchmaking process. Our work in this area dates back as early as Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare 2007. Skill is implemented across the video game industry, and we recognize that continuous refinement is required to deliver the best possible experience for our players. We use players' performance to ensure that the disparity between the most skilled player in the lobby and the least skilled player in the lobby isn't so vast that players feel their match is a waste of time. Well, I don't know how they determine that, because there's been many matches that I've dropped into, especially with people that I play with, where they absolutely can't do nothing, or I can't do nothing because of ping issues or anything. Just the skill gap. It is. All right, continuing on. Our data on player outcomes clearly indicates that the inclusion of skill in Call of Duty's multiplayer matchmaking process as it currently stands increases the variety of outcomes experienced by players of all skill levels. In other words, all players, regardless of skill level, are more likely to experience wins and losses more proportionally. What they're trying to do is make sure if you're on a win streak that you lose some so other people can win. And same with them. They're trying to keep you engaged in playing longer. This is EOMM, basically, is what they're saying. They're not saying it right out. They're not typing in there, this is EOMM, but that's what this is. Their goal is to keep you playing longer so you buy more stuff from the store. That's it. Our data shows that when lower skill players are consistently on the losing end, they are likely to quit matches in progress or stop playing altogether. This has an effect on the player pool. A small player pool means wait times for matches increase and connections may not be as strong as they should be. This can compound over time to create a spiral effect. Eventually, when only high skill players remain because lower skill players have quit out of frustration, the result is an ecosystem that is worse overall for everyone. Game data indicates that having some limitations on the disparity of skill across the players in a match makes for a healthier ecosystem. We also understand that many high skill players want more variety of experience, but often feel like they only get the sweatiest of lobbies. We have heard this feedback clearly and will continue to test and actively explore ways to mitigate this concern. That's all we want. That's all we want. We want organic gameplay. Organic gameplay. I want a good connection to the server and I want to play against random people. That's it. That's it. I don't care if it is truly random. I don't care if it's a bunch of sweats. I don't care if it's a bunch of noobs. I don't care. I want random organic gameplay. I don't want to play against every CDL team known to man. My teammates don't want to do that either. We want to get on, chill, and talk about our day. That's it. Me personally, I try to get content here and there, but it's not all the time. Sometimes I just want to get on there, chill, hang out with my friends. That's what I enjoy doing, and I can't do it. They need to fix it somehow. Future communications. In addition to today's blog, our technology team is developing a ping and matchmaking white paper for those inclined to get into the more granular information about Call of Duty matchmaking. Stay tuned for more on this publication. To include, we wanted to answer some of the most frequently asked questions from the community. All right, community questions. Does Call of Duty consider player engagement, time played, as a factor in matchmaking? We do not consider how often or how much you play when determining matchmaking. Bull crap. I can get off of the game and not touch the game for 3 days, 2 or 3 days. That's it. Get on, guarantee you, my first couple games on, my lobbies will be just normal lobbies. I will have a good ping. My game runs smooth, no stutter, no lag, nothing. That's it. My hit reg's working correctly, but if I get on every day like I used to, and I play the game as well as I can, trying to get content, trying to get high kill games, so on and so forth, I will lag, I will stutter, my hit reg's all messed up. This is a load of crap. It's a load of crap. It's a blatant lie. What I hope happens is somebody gets proof of this, maybe in their coding or something, and releases it, and Call of Duty can really get a run for their money, if you get what I'm saying. Does the Call of Duty matchmaking process impact any in-game elements such as hit registration, player visibility, aim assist, damage, etc.? No, our matchmaking process does not impact gameplay elements. I don't. All right, so it's a two-way street. Here's what I think. I don't think Call of Duty's actually sitting there saying, "Hey, this guy's doing good, so we're gonna make his bullets not register." I don't think that's what they're doing. I think they're giving you a worse ping to the lobby to help even out the lobby, make the gameplay harder on you, easier on these other guys, or vice versa. Sorry about the cough. Or vice versa. I think that's what they're doing. So they're not intentionally necessarily nerfing you into the ground, but they are in a way. That's what I think's happening. Does spending money on Call of Duty content such as bundles, battle pass, or black sale change how players are matched? Money spent does not in any way, shape, or form factor into matchmaking. I've only bought one thing from Call of Duty. That's the battle pass. I bought it like Season 3, Modern Warfare 2, Warzone 2. That's when I bought the battle pass. Okay. Here recently, I bought the Black Noir bundle just because the skin's OP. That's it. That's it. That's all I bought. My matchmaking experience hasn't been better and it hasn't been worse. It's still just as crappy as it was. So I haven't had that experience. If you have had that experience, drop it down in the comments. Does Call of Duty use bots in multiplayer matchmaking? Call of Duty multiplayer does not use bots as part of the general matchmaking process. If this changes in the future, we will inform the community. I don't know about bots being in multiplayer. Me personally, I've saw some weird stuff, but it never registered to me like, hey, this is a bot or whatever. I wouldn't doubt it if they had bots in multiplayer. Uh, me personally, I don't know. I haven't run into it. Do partners or content creators get special consideration in general matchmaking? No, we do not change the matchmaking based on who owns the account. In specific cases such as for events like Call of Duty Next, we may be required to customize how lobbies are formed. However, these events usually take place in private matches and do not impact general matchmaking. All right, so I do believe this part. I do believe that, like for Call of Duty Next and stuff like that, they do that. This part, I do not believe this, not one bit. I don't think every content creator gets easier lobbies. I don't. I think a lot of them do. I think some of them's aware and some of them's not aware. I think some of them thinks that they're getting super sweaty lobbies and some of them thinks that they're not. Period. But obviously, you can watch some of these guys play, and you know exactly what a sweat lobby is. When you see somebody not shooting back, that's not a sweaty lobby. If you get 20 something kills and somebody's not shooting back at you, that's not a sweaty lobby. If their teammates are not stacked up ear to ear, it's not a sweaty lobby. That's not realistic. That's not the lobbies that we're experiencing as the Call of Duty community. All right. Have you ever considered an opt-in, opt-out system for matchmaking algorithm? Our data suggests that splitting player base with an opt-in, opt-out matchmaking system will have negative consequences on the overall player pool. That means potentially longer wait times based on the matchmaking. All right, so what they're saying here is that if they did this, the people that's in the opt-out or the opt-in system that want skill-based matchmaking, it would take them forever to get in the lobby because I guarantee you everybody that I know would be turning the opt-out thing on and they would get into a lobby. I guarantee you. That's exactly what they're saying. All right. Have you ever tested removing skill as consideration for matchmaking? We've run tests over the years to determine if removing skill as a consideration for matchmaking since we will continue to launch these tests periodically to date. The data remains consistent with what we detailed above. Players tend to quit matches or stop playing if they're getting blown out. Yeah, that's the reason we're quitting. That's the reason your player base is dropping dramatically. That's the reason you've got the worst sales in history right now. That's the reason you're not even on a top 10 chart. It's because people are quitting playing. because our connection's not good, the skill-based matchmaking's not good, the matches are not fun, everything is getting boring, there's no soul in the game. It's not fun anymore. It's not fun. They've ruined it. I've only played Modern Warfare 2. Bought Modern Warfare 3. Loved Modern Warfare 2. Didn't like the movement, but they changed that. Modern Warfare 3, I was like, oh, this one's going to be a lot better. It wasn't. It's 10 times worse because the connections are 10 times worse. The maps are boring. Everything's just boring. There's no soul. Every bit of it's sweaty. I have to pour sweat. I can't even get a shower before I play the game because I'm sitting here just sweating profusely. I can't even see. It's ridiculous, resulting in a negative overall experience for all players in the lobby and the general player population. We purposely do not disclose when these tests occur because it may impact feedback or the data we see during these tests. Yeah, whatever. Alright, have you considered removing skill-based matchmaking in specific general multiplayer game modes? We have considered this in the past. We will continue to examine if this idea makes sense as part of the experimental playlist or in specific modes. We have nothing to announce on that front today. Yeah, it's not going anywhere, man. They got their heads so far up their rear ends, they don't even know what to do. So guys, I appreciate you dropping by. Make sure if you're new here to like, subscribe, follow for more content. I'm always putting out rants, game reviews, all different kinds of stuff. If it's got to do with gaming, it's on this channel. So I really appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.